Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Yes, some consistent content is actually coming up right now. Am I a bit too far away? I kind of really like this whole blurred background thing. Tell me if you like it or not. But yeah, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back. Oh my gosh, so I do want to put a trigger warning on this video right in the beginning. I know YouTube doesn't like trigger warnings, but I feel like it's better to be safe than sorry, and kind of fuck what YouTube has to then say after that. I'm just doing this so that no one gets triggered, no one feels uncomfortable. I will leave a bunch of links down below as well if you do feel like you know, you do feel like it is a bit of a trigger for you. I just thought I'd let you know. So trigger warning there. Different setting. I just want to put in a big disclaimer that I mean absolutely no disrespect to anyone that I mention unless you deserve it. But you know, no one is perfect. My mum's not perfect. People in my life are not perfect. I'm not here to be like, oh, they should have done this, this and this. I'm just putting this in here. This is what happened in my life through my own personal account, how I perceive things. This is coming from me, and that's it. That's just my disclaimer. I thought I'd throw that in there before we get into the video. So you have your trigger warning, you have the disclaimer. So if I get any hate for this, then everyone else has a problem instead of me, right? Anyways, let's just get into the video.
A million people.
We are going to be talking about the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services, or Camhs if you don't know. That's the mental health services for young children, anyone under the age of 16, but you can go up to 18 with the Camhs. But I'm just going to tell you my story, and yeah, let's just get into it. I was with Camhs from the age of 15. I was only with them for maybe a year and a half. Probably about a year and a half, yeah. And how did it even start? Obviously, when I was 14 years old, I'd gone through a lot. I was sexually abused at 14. Everyone was spreading horrible rumours about me, saying that I was sleeping with this person, giving head to this person in a park, or doing this, that and the other, and like people were just vile about it. Someone that I wasn't even in a relationship with or anything like that. Like we'd kissed, but as far as I'd gone, and he was in love with me, but I mean, he was my first love, but we didn't end up getting together till 17. That's a whole different story for a different day. But his girlfriend at the time didn't like me, and there was a whole bunch of shit that was going down. Like they attacked me a few times. They were sending me death threats, and I was just a mess. Like I had such, my anxiety was so bad that I couldn't leave the house without a drink. I couldn't leave the house without any pills. I couldn't not self-harm. And this progressively got worse day by day. And I was actually attending a youth group at this time as well. And these things were just like, it was just like it was rapid, constantly going on. Every day was something new, and the worst part of it was that my mum blamed me. Yeah, you heard that right. She blamed me for when I was walking home from school with my friends, and we would do the same route every day, and we would literally, my school was stayed there, and it's like a 10-minute walk to my house. It's not 15 minutes, I would say, because walking fast is not my strong suit. So I'd walk from school, like we'll go to the chicken shop, and then one friend lived over there and one friend lived over here, and then I lived over here. So we'd actually go like drop her off, and then there was like some back roads we'd walk down, because like it was just quieter. You know, I shouldn't really have to justify myself. It's not like I went to South London every day after school, like that. What? That's like the worst part of London, right? Like we walked through the back road, it was quiet, we always like were joking around, like chatting the most shit as teenagers do. And like this guy came up and he just like, he's like, oh, why are you in my ends for? Why, like, I don't even know you, like, who are you? I don't know who this person is. Anyways, after a couple of times he started like just like punching me for no reason. Like, do I know you? And if you don't know from my last video, I always said that I was very shy, I was very timid. I wasn't someone who just came out of the woodworks and be like, bruv, I want to fight you. Like, that was never me. And obviously I told my mum and she blames me for it, and then proceeded to ground me for it. That was just start of many it's your fault kind of thing. Like, so much, and it just felt like, wow, what do you mean it's my fault? Though it must be my fault for everything. So I never told her about my sexual assault. I never told anyone, to be fair. I only told best friend now. I told her and the other girl that was friends with, but she was the cause of the problem, but I didn't know that at the time. Anyway, so after all of this shit just kept going down and I just couldn't speak to no one. Like, my friend at the time made me feel like it was my fault as well. Like, all the blame kind of got put on me. And at 14 years old, like, especially in the time span, all this happened within 5 to 6 months. But my birthday's in December. Everything was alright up until then. This guy kept, like, we'll call him, what do we call him? The main problem of all my life. We'll call him John. So John kept constantly, like, he would always be somewhere that I was, whether I was walking down my road, at my friend's house, at youth group. But this dude didn't go to youth group all the time, like only when I was there kind of thing, and always be there outside. But he was always there, like everywhere I was, he was there, right? So he just came, he was lurking around, like around my birthday, but I didn't really pay it no mind. But between my birthday and I would say summertime, so this was 2012, this was Olympics time, all of this is going on, and I'm just like in like that side of the year. And during, so probably before the, like, I've been self-harming since I was about in year 6, and it only got worse when I was about 14. And I would say about March. I can't really give you a timeline because I really don't remember, but things just kept progressing. Like, springtime, trying to enjoy my life, but obviously I'm still struggling with my own mental health. Like, guys, my mental health has always been atrocious. Like, it's just been a disaster. And anyone would say, like, I've always been like very emotional, very touchy-feely, you have to walk on eggshells around me. I'll get told that a lot, but no one ever wondered why, or no one ever asked, or no one ever, because everyone was scared about setting me off, but no one ever really made the effort to find out. Because just because someone is dealing with mental health and they tell you nothing is wrong doesn't mean you should just stop there. Just because they flip out doesn't mean you should just stop there. Like, there's so much more to it. And I'm not saying it's anyone's obligation to find out, but as a child and you're an adult, it is your obligation to find out, period. But the self-harm just got worse, and then obviously after the death threats, they got even worse. After the sexual assault, they got even worse. After more death threats, they got even worse. And it was to a point where it was every day, multiple times a day, every hour even. Like, I was just filled with harm on my body, and it was just not nice at all. And I would start crying, like, over if someone spoke to me the wrong way. Like, I would just start bursting out crying, and every time I tried to stop, it was like I felt like I was on fire. Like, I had to do something about it, the pain that I was in. And God, this is making me emotional. Let's just not cry through this. Jesus. Okay, So obviously then I turned to like pills and stuff, and I was drinking, and yes, I could get alcohol. If you can't tell, I have a really big chest. For some reason people think that with you being older, don't know why, I had a big chest from the age of 10. But people to buy me alcohol from the shop, especially men, but even crackers, anything, I would like, yeah, buy me this, buy me that. Like even at my house we got like a liquor cabinet, I would say. It's not really, but anything that was in there I'll be drinking. Like, I'll be brutally honest, like I was a mess, and I'll be drinking every single day. Like every single fucking day I'll be taking pills at school. Like no one really knew, but then my friends saw that how bad it really was. And I do think she felt bad because a lot of it had to do with her, because she was one of the people that was spreading the rumours about me being with this guy in the park and that guy in the park. She was like one of them. Even ultimately the rumour that I was pregnant, like she was behind it. And it's crazy how to think that that happened a couple years after she saw how bad her original rumours had made things. It's just crazy. Anyways, moving to going to a doctor. So my GP was an old man, but he did refer me to Camhs. My friend basically had said to me, I'm gonna call her, what should we call her? Gabriella. We'll call her Gabriella because I don't know, I just came to my head now. So Gabriella took me to, she said you have two options, because she was very close with my family as well. Like she'd always been at my house, you know, see my family knew her and stuff. Like we were really close, and she said to me, you either go to the doctors or I'm gonna tell your mum. And I didn't want my mum to know because she would blame me for everything. So why am I gonna tell her? She found out eventually, but I'd rather it not be me and someone else, because my mum only takes it seriously when someone else tells her something. She didn't take it seriously if it came from me. But discredit my mum, but she's very like, people already think I'm dramatic as it is. So if I was to tell her, she just would be like, oh, she's just being dramatic. Over if someone else tells her, oh, something must be serious then. The GP, and obviously they referred me to Camhs, and I don't remember exactly what happened, because like I said, I was pretty much out of it the whole time. I don't know if they contacted my mum or they just contacted me, but I was only 14 at the time. But my doctor just basically diagnosed me with depression and anxiety, as they will do for anyone who's dealing with mental health issues. Because where I have now been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, you know, you can't be diagnosed with that until you're over the age of 18. So where I was only 14 at the time, like they can only go one way about it, you know. There's nothing else that they can really do. My sister knew. I can't remember how she found out. I really don't remember. But I'm pretty sure Camhs told my school as well, because I don't remember telling my school, but I'm pretty sure they told my school. Someone told the school. And so I was with Camhs. I had to go for initial assessments. My sister came with me the whole time. My sister was literally there with me every step of the way. Like, even on the weekend appointments, do you think my mum came? No. Are you mad? My mum doesn't believe in mental health professionals. She doesn't believe in any of that. So I literally can't remember exactly what happened. If you don't know, my memory is really, 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 really bad. The fact that I was also just drugged up as well doesn't help. But I remember having to go for initial assessments, and I remember there being 3 different psychologists I went through at one point. Because the first person, I was getting asked, oh, does this person help you? And I said no. So they gave me someone else, and she was really nice. I think she was Scottish, and she was really lovely, and we were doing cognitive behavioural therapy. We were trying to, like, you know, figure out what's the problem. Like, literally the whole time I was with Camhs, they tried to figure out what's the problem. But it's like they just didn't know, because they knew it wasn't just depression and anxiety, but they couldn't figure out what. And because it was a personality disorder, which they couldn't diagnose me with until I was 18. So you know, and they knew it wasn't bipolar, they knew it wasn't schizophrenia, they knew it wasn't any mood disorders or psychosis, so, but it was more than just depression and anxiety. And also I was high functioning at the time, so like I could just get up and everything was fucking peachy. Like I could literally fake anything. Like I could fake how happy I was, how sad I, not how sad I was, how happy I was, and like yeah, I'm doing great, like I don't need this. But then I would break down a couple minutes later and be worse than I was when I walked in. So it was very up and down, up and down, up and down, and they could not figure it out. I was also in therapy in school. I had they put me with a therapist in school, and I had two, but they abruptly ended. She just was like, there was this first woman, and she was old, and she was, I didn't really feel like she knew what she was doing, and then it just stopped. And then the lady said, okay, someone else is going to come in, and she's really, really good. And she was really good, and we did talk, and she was like a black lady, black Jamaican lady. She really did have a good understanding, because I feel like culture does depend, but it does make a difference on how you're related to. And I feel like if you can't relate to your therapist, then you need a new therapist for sure. And it was very great that she could relate to me, and she did understand that, yeah, not all Caribbeans can understand mental health and trying to get through it, and she did really help. So my school did help, but it wasn't for very long, and I think it was just up until the end of year 10 I was in with some sort of help, because apparently during your GCSE years you just can't miss out on any lesson time. The last time I checked, your mental health triumphs your fucking triumphs anything else, in my opinion. But, and then also I was able to check in with the counsellor, the school counsellor. Was that what she was? I don't know, but she was alright. She kind of tried to help me, like, not completely stop the self-harm, but at least reduce it. But anyways, so moving on to the actual Camhs. Like, Camhs was once a week, and maybe twice a week, but definitely once a week. And would go in and do cognitive behavioural therapy. And if you don't know what cognitive behavioural therapy is, it's literally identify the issue, how you're feeling about the issue. Like, you figure out the cycle, and then you figure out at the end of the cycle, okay, what can I do to change your way of thought so it breaks the cycle. Anyway, so we'll do that. And we try to do family therapy as well. That happened one whole time, because my mum doesn't believe in talking to strangers about her business. What do you think the strangers are gonna do? Fucking tell the whole fucking world? No. Like, I feel like that would have helped me in that moment, because I feel like there's so much still I want to say, and I don't have the opportunity no more. Luckily, I'm in therapy now, so it is helping me dissect and go through issues. Jeez, I'm gonna need a drink after this. But I feel like I definitely had a somewhat positive experience with Camhs. I know a lot of people don't, they're on a waiting list forever. I wasn't, because I feel like it wasn't just that I'd gone to the doctors. It was that when they spoke to my school, they were concerned. Teachers had meetings about me, like meetings, the whole meeting about me, like, and is Tanya okay? Like, that I would just flip out for no reasons. Like, even when I was in primary school, my mum would have meetings with my head teacher, because they all just knew, like, something's not right. Something was not right, and they just didn't know what it was. At the end of the day, they had no idea. And they were like, we don't know what's wrong with her. Is she get abused? Like, I mean, ultimately, yes, I was, but no one really knew that, you know. This doctor dude that lost his brother, this Dr. Alex George person, And like, I understand why he's advocating, but I feel like it shouldn't take a loss to advocate about it. There's so many people that advocate about mental health, and then someone just comes out of the woodworks and be like, oh yeah, I was on and this happened to my family. And so many people have been like, this has happened to me, and I'm advocating day in, day out from way before, and no one took it seriously. Like, why now? What can be done in schools to help it? Training. The training needs to happen. Teachers need to know. Like, my teachers were so confused over me. They had no idea, and they didn't know what to do. If they knew what to do and they had the ability to do what they needed to do, then things would be better. Whether it is calling a meeting with that person that you're concerned about, whether it is, you know, more training to the school counsellors, speaking to the families. Obviously, if the child is in a dangerous situation, then precaution needs to be taken, but they have a duty of care to protect their children. Your parents have a duty of care to protect you. And as much as mental health starts at home, it is carried into school, because at the end of the day, we spend a lot of time in school. We spend a load of time there, and we don't always get the support that we need. Even for me, I just hated working in a classroom because I had such mean people in my classes and stuff, and I just didn't like. They were all so snarky, and I couldn't deal with it, and I felt like I was gonna kill someone every day. But I mean, a lot of the time, like, not all my teachers, some of them are really good, but not all my teachers, like, I'm like, can I just work outside? Like, oh, you've just taught me for 20 minutes and you want us to do some book work. Can I do the book work outside? Because I don't want to be in here right now. I feel very uncomfortable, you know? Like, there's certain things that I feel like the education system, number one, needs a whole revamp, and number two, needs to be flexible. I feel like it's not flexible at all. Like, not every child, if you like, oh, answer this question, like, they can answer it, because they may have really bad anxiety, and it's not something that you can just get over and just work on through, oh, well, if you can't answer it in class, then da, da, da. Like, no. Like, anxiety is a real thing and it needs real help, and just getting over it is not going to help. Like, school needs a lot more work, a lot more of a safe haven. Not so, I feel like being in this military kind of place where everything is so strict, and so, like, you can't be free and just not be free. Like, obviously you're in a school environment, but you're so restricted, and it's evident that the more restricted you are, the more mental health problems you have, the more stressed you feel, the more, like, you're just so closed in that how the hell do you expect to grow? Like, you're in school, you're growing, especially as a teenager, you're growing every single day, and if you don't have the freedom to do that, what's going on? Like, at the end of the day, like, grown people can be advocating for, you know, mental health, but people who have directly been in that system are the ones that you need to be listening to. Like, I don't care how many medical degrees you have or what school you went to, but unless you've been in the system and you've gone through Camhs and you've gone through school and everyone's gone through school, but, like, you know what the process is, and only people who've gone through the process knows how to then change it. Like, just because you're a flashy doctor on TV and you've experienced it secondhand, because you haven't, it's not a first-hand experience when you've lost someone through mental health. It is a second-hand experience, and that's what people need to realise, because you weren't the one going through all that pain. That person was probably going through more pain than you are, even during that loss. I'm not saying anything is more and worse, but it's like, you can advocate for it, but there's a line, and I feel like in order for something to be done, you need to listen to the people who have gone through that system, and only they know how to change it. really. You need to fix something from the inside out, not the outside in, if that makes any sense. That's just my opinion. You can't really just go and all of that stuff. That's just my opinion at the end of the day. I feel like Camhs do just at the end of the day just kind of chuck you away. Like, they never discharged me, it just stopped for me. Like, it just stopped. Like, I will never forget. Like, I don't know why it stopped, but they said, yeah, you can go, you're not needed anymore, kind of thing. And the system is so broken, it's underfunded, it's broken. Like, you know, I was dealing with a lot of dangerous situations for myself, and there was no one stepped in. It was all, give her therapy and maybe she'll be better. No, I continued to get worse. I was a bit up and down, you know, thank you BPD, but what can we do? Like, we need to fix the system from the inside, like how things work, the systems in place, the protocols in place, before we can have outside opinions coming in and be like, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. No. We need to start on the inside out. The Camhs system in itself needs to be fixed. You know, we can, as much as we can train people on how to deal with mental health better, especially in schools, like, teachers look after how many kids at one time? Like, I truly believe mental health needs to start at home, and how people are raised and the environment they're raised in, before anything else. Like, children need to be listened to, they need to be heard, because especially, I feel like, maybe in a lot of cultures, but I feel like especially in my culture, like, it's always about, nah, you're a child, why are you talking for, did I tell you to talk, da, 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 like, keep your mouth shut kind of thing. Like, and don't anyone come tell me that I'm wrong, because that is literally my childhood in a nutshell. Like, you can't talk, you can't do this, you can't do that, da, da, da. Restriction, like, why? Anyways, so yeah, I just feel like the education system needs support, but I feel like the actual Camhs system in itself needs help. And I feel like the psychologists need to diagnose. I feel like diagnosis, and I'm not saying to label someone, I know there's a lot of controversy in labeling a child, but a diagnosis is not for a label, it's just to find the right treatment. Like, you know, bipolar has a certain treatment, depression has a certain treatment, you know, obviously there's a few, but, you know, there's avenues to go down. Schizophrenia has different treatments, BPD has a completely different treatment. That's, I personally think that needs, like, I feel like dialectical behavioural therapy, mentalising behavioural therapy needs to be taught as a subject, or in like form time, like being curious about someone else's mind and understanding why we feel this way, and all these kinds of things need to be taught, even if it's just like 20 minutes a day, because that's one thing. As children, if you don't learn how to be curious, or how to understand why you're feeling the way you are at home, at least you have something in school. And a lot of kids are always like, me, like, it's all about me kind of thing. Like, no, it's not. But they don't know that, because at home it is all about them. But, you know, things do vary and things are very different here and there, and I do definitely feel like it needs to be taught in school for sure. Something needs to be taught in school. I do believe dialectical behavioural therapy and mentalising behavioural therapy need to be taught in schools across the board. I'm going to end this video here though, because I could literally ramble on for ages. This is a bit of a longer video, I do apologise, but I feel like, you know what, I don't apologise, because this needs to be out there. And when I saw this, I thought, no, I have to film this video because I feel like it's very, very important. You know, it was on my list and now I had to kind of bump it up whilst, you know, obviously I'm always going to be doing videos on mental health and stuff. Like, I've got a whole list that I'm going through right now. I'm going to probably film again tomorrow because that consistency, girl, yes, that consistency is coming. And if you're going through mental health problems right now, don't worry, you know, reach out. No matter whether you're 10 or you're 25 or you're 50, reach out to someone. I'll leave all help in the description bar. There's gonna be numbers, crisis lines, things to like help you will all be linked down below. I'll leave my Instagram and Twitter here. My DMs are always open, but I'm no means a mental health professional. I am just a girl that has borderline personality disorder, and I'm in therapy myself right now. So, I mean, I feel like everyone is deserving of therapy, and there's not enough, obviously, there's not enough therapists out there at the end of the day, but we all are deserving of therapy. And in whatever way that does come, I really hope that you get help for anything that you need. Remember, you're not alone. You're not alone in this. You know, I do try and make helpful videos as well. A lot of videos are coming, guys, so stay tuned. If you want to see more helpful videos when it comes to mental health, subscribe. What are you doing? Hello. So you'll be updated every single time I upload a new video. I'm trying to be as consistent as I can. You know, I'm at home Monday to Friday, so I'm trying to do as much, trying to get as many videos uploaded as possible. But yes, so on that note, guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.